Hello and welcome. I am your doll friend Sade, and this is another episode of Akame Dolls. Right off the bat, first I want to apologize that I have not been uploading anything or doing anything with this channel for several months because of the whole Kappa scare, and that's still a scary thing. It's ruining some channels, and I didn't know if I was going to, since this was just a newly created channel right when that all came about, I didn't know if I was going to keep at this, but it seems for the most part that doll customizations and craft stuff is in the clear. It's still iffy, I don't know, it's still scary, but I really want to share with you guys the stuff that I do, and I'm not really here to make a profit. Just want to, share some artsy stuff. So let's get to the dolls. Let's make some cool things. Yeah, let's get to the doll. That's what we're really here for. So the doll that I am showing you guys in this video, I actually made about 3 years ago, and I've been holding on to it for a long time now because I've been wanting to photograph it in actual snow, but it hasn't snowed in my area, at least not enough to actually get outside and take some nice pictures. So I just want to share her with the world. There are some pictures of her already up on my Instagram from forever ago, but let me share with you now her story. So the doll that I am making in this video is going to be the character Yukina from Yu Yu Hakusho, which is a series that I grew up with back when it was on Toonami. I think it was Toonami. Maybe it was Adult Swim. I think it was Adult Swim. Forever ago. That kind of shows my age. But anyway, I loved this series. The character Hiei was probably like my second or third anime crush ever after like the Digimon Emperor. But anyway, character I'm making is Yukina, who is Hiei's younger sister. I thought it would be a fun character to make. She's pretty. She has a cute little yukata kimono thing going on. For this doll though, I wanted to make a sort of pretty like special fancier version of her yukata. You know how they take the like Disney princess design from the movie, and then for like the products, for like merch, they will like glitter the shit out of it and like just make it extra sparkly or extra nice. That's kind of what I want to do with Yukina's outfit, in that I'm not going to go with a solid blue yukata. We're going to find a cute little print for it, and we're going to bedazzle her up a bit without any actual glitter or like bedazzling. I'll show you. You'll see. Stick around. Anyway. So this is a box of dolls that I ordered off of, I believe it was eBay. It was an impulse buy in that I was staring at the auction and I bid and I won, and I was like, oh shit, okay, but great, now I have a bunch of dolls to work with. Here I decided, I think I don't know the doll's name, I think it's Twilight. I'm probably so very wrong, but I ended up going with this doll because she is shorter than the rest of the Monster High dolls. She's got that petite figure, and I think that would work really well for Yukina because she is a shorter character. But the issue here is that this doll has purple skin, and Yukina obviously does not. So after removing the clothes, I removed her hands, and later I take off her forearms too, and I put them on this little piece of on this piece of cardboard, and we're going to paint those with airbrush later to get the right skin tone that we need. But to start off, we're going to take some acetone and we're going to clean off her factory paint. I always start by removing the factory paint because I feel like I can't cut all her hair off and do all these things to her if she's staring up at me. I start to feel a little guilty. It's silly. But yeah, let's start by removing the factory paint. So once all the paint is off, I can guilt-free remove all of the hair. This doll was secondhand, obviously, because I got it off of eBay. I think the whole lot that I got was secondhand, so the hair was very sticky. Even though I really love the color, I didn't think I'd be able to salvage the hair, so it's all coming off, and that's going away. My trick for cutting off hair, by the way, is I like to tie it all into a ponytail, and that way I don't have hair falling around everywhere. So once we got that all cut down as short as possible, I soaked it in hot water for a while. That softens the glue on the inside, and now I'm using this screwdriver to just kind of scrape and pull all of that rooted hair back into the doll head. It takes a bit of time. You kind of have to like figure out the right motion for it. You also have to be careful not to do it too hard, especially where the root is really clustered, because then you'll tear open the plastic. I've done that a few times. I got lucky with this one. I didn't. Oh, now there's the best part. We are pulling out the all the hair and the glue and the gunk from the inside of the head. And this is kind of tedious, but it is also kind of cathartic in that it's, I don't know, you know what I mean? Just like pulling it all out. It's kind of gross, but just like the satisfaction of getting it all out. I'm not even going to reroot this doll, but I do like, oh wait, this part, look at that. Ew, that's a good chunk. Again, let's see it again. Yeah. Sorry, was that gross? Is that gross? Should I not show this part? I mean, you wanted to see it, right? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so even if I'm not going to be rooting the doll, I'll still clean out the head, because I like the idea of a fully clean canvas, you know? Okay, so then after that's all done, or spraying the hands, this actually turned out to be a really nice way to spray the hands. And then once the hands are done, I'll move on to the body. I ended up taking both of those dolls that I was messing with in the beginning, because I had an idea of who I wanted to turn the other doll into. Both of them had normal skin tone, so I decided to just spray them both at the same time. Well, moving on to the face. Yeah, I think I used Tamiya paint in my airbrush. And I think it's talked a little bit about how I did that in my very first doll video with Gravity. But anyway, moving on to the wig cap. For the wig cap, maybe I'll go into more detail. I didn't actually have footage of when I made the wig cap, but you can see here it's that little pink cap there, and that is just a stretch fabric that I rubber band over the head, made it hard with just a bunch of Elmer's glue, like layers and layers of Elmer's glue. Now I'm taking the wefts that I made from yarn, and you can see the lines where I've more or less like figured out where to set the hair to get to Yukina's ponytail. I'm pretty sure I just followed one of Motezekyo. I'll put the link in the thing. One of their hair doll wig tutorials. Also, now that I think about it, now that I'm watching this back with you, sorry about just all of the awkward camera angles. So this is technically the second doll that I ever finished, and I don't have a good setup for my camera, so there was a lot of like trying to figure out maybe if I put the camera up here, this will be a decent shot, or I'm still kind of struggling with that, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, sorry, bear with me as I figure out how to how to get a decent shot. I don't have like a proper camera mount, unfortunately, so it's a lot of jerry-rigging and hoping the camera doesn't fall, and a lot of hoping that I don't lean into the frame like I did with my Kitaro video. Sorry. So once the wig was done, Yukina has that really elaborate looking like bow flower thing in the back. And I wasn't too sure how I was going to go about making it because it's such a interesting shape. But I had the idea of using this ribbon, a red ribbon, and I'm going to kind of fold and glue each of those like petal shapes and attach those to the main ribbon somehow. I don't entirely remember how I did it, but I did it somehow. You'll see in, I think, the next shot how that came out. Essentially, it would be just this little ribbon with the petals, and that would go around the hairband. So here's the finished wig. I'm pretty proud of this. It looks good. I mean, it looks anime-y, I would say. And here is what when I meant earlier, I wanted to kind of pretty her up, you know, bedazzle her a bit. I got these cute little flowers from the craft store that I think would go well, and we're just gonna, you know, give her some hair accessories with some flowers. I think she would be really cute. And so I glued the flowers in with Mod Podge, I think is what I used, and just kind of shaping the hair. I don't know, I think it's cute. And now for the that red ribbon. So here's how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not super pretty from the front, but if you're looking at her hair from the back, I like it. It's cute. And so that just goes around her hair like so. It's got a little Velcro on the other side. There we go. And now, because, you know, we want to pretty her up and make her look extra nice, let's see if we can put, go with white maybe, or I think this one's it. Oh, that just looks nice. It like goes well with the hair and with the red, I think so. Alright, with the wig cap done, I am moving on to blushing the body. Here you can see that other doll that I sprayed with it. So one of these two ended up being Yukina's body. The other one is in storage now with its head. Even though she's gonna be covered up with her yukata, and she even has these little socks and whatnot that I made, I wanted to get some practice. Again, this was my second doll that I ever finished, so I wanted to get practice on blushing the body, plus just, I don't know, those little details kind of go a long way. Even if you're not seeing them under the clothes, knowing they're there makes me happy, I guess. So moving on finally to the face. I think it's like everyone's favorite part is the face up. So if I remember correctly, I was not using Mr. Super Clear yet when I was working on this doll. I think I was using like a watered down Liquitex varnish that I was spraying on with my airbrush. And at the time, it wasn't like, I had no experience of like how much easier it was to use MSC. But looking back at this footage and just with my experience that I gained later on, it definitely took a lot more effort to get that color to show. I think this took several layers of, I think first I was struggling with the watercolor. You can see with that, I used that dark brown pencil first to draw out the eyes, and even with that dark brown, it's really hard to see. I think I ended up just watering a brush and just taking a little bit of pigment off of the pencils with the really small brush and just painting on most of it. You are going to see also that I am coloring the eyes brown. I was going for a goldish brown my first run, and I also made her eyebrows brown. And then when I completely finished the face up, which we'll get to later in a minute, I realized why are her eyebrows brown, and also the reference that I was going off was because I was going off of that really old style anime look with the big catch lights. I realized, even though for some reason I was coloring her eyes brown, but when I looked at it at the end, the reference images and a lot of the art, she has red eyes, and I don't know why I didn't realize that while working on it. So you'll see the more or less finished eyes brown, and then suddenly I'm reapplying the gloss and the red. I think this is the last doll I did without MSC. And for good reason. But yeah, so here I'm using a brush to kind of get in those details, get that color to really show. There really is no alternative to MSC, I realize. Alright, so here's the finished face with the brown eyes. Here I'm applying that final bit of Tamiya gloss to get those eyes to shine. I do it across the whole eye, and I think I do it on the lips too for this one. But then, like I mentioned, I realized her eyes are red, and I ended up having to do this whole part over again, and here that is. Oh man. But I don't know, what do you think? I think it looks better. I think it makes more sense, like with her eyebrows being a color that matches her hair. I don't know. So for Yukina, part of her story is she was being held captive because of her tears turned into these pearl-like jewels. So I decided I wanted to make her cry, because I'm a terrible mean person. So after that first layer of gloss, I used the same gloss to just kind of paint on some sad looking tears. And this was actually a lot of fun. I think I did this exact same thing with my very first doll, Hikari, who I've only shown briefly in at the end of my Kitaru video, but I'll have to give her a little more love and show her to you guys later. But yeah, I don't know, I like drawing on the tears. I love the glossy tears. It's very like satisfying to look at when it's done. I feel like I didn't convey a very sad emotion with just her eyebrows and her expression alone, so the tears kind of also help fix that. And then, like I mentioned, so she cries these jewels, and I found these tiny little half pearl stick-ons, and I was like, perfect, she will literally be crying jewels. So I used these tweezers and some fresh, still wet gloss to kind of hold them in place. I wasn't going to rely entirely on the glue that the little pearls had themselves. So with the gloss still more or less drying, I had put in a few of these little pearls onto her face to kind of show that she's crying these beautiful jewels. And then I also glued a couple onto her yukata, as in they've just fallen and have caught on her yukata. Unfortunately, sorry guys, I didn't film the process of me sewing her outfit. So sorry, but here's her finished face. Oh, look how pretty she is. And here she is all put together. I do want to point out that the final footage of her is 3 years after I'd finished making her. Oh yeah, here's her little stand that I made. I wanted it to look like she was standing in the snow. I put some extra little pearls around it. Here's a little snow bunny. But here's her yukata. I'm really proud of it, of just the whole finished thing. I think her outfit's really cute. It wasn't that flat colors like in the anime, but it's still like subtle enough, I think, that you recognize the character. She looks sad, she's crying her jewels, her hair looks great. I don't know. There's definitely some things that I would have done differently, but overall I'm still really proud of her. She's been one of my favorites. I'm actually going to gift her to a friend, so I hope they really like her. Plus I made her own custom stand. That was the first time doing that. Oh, and then back here on the back of her obi, it's hidden by her hair, but I put one of those little white flowers as a decoration. So that's like a little secret surprise back there. I think for the fact that she's also 3 years old now, she's held up pretty well. That, like I mentioned earlier, I did not use Mr. Super Clear for her face. So when you actually get a good look at her face, it does look a little white. It looks a little like peach fuzzy. And I think that's just the way the sealant has aged. Her color is still really good. I feel like I could do better with those eyes now after having practiced some more. But yeah, I'm really proud of her. I hope my friend likes her. Those are the little socks I made. I made her some slippers. But yeah, I don't know. She's cute. I love her. I hope you guys like her. Thanks for watching. Maybe one day I'll make a Botan doll to go with her. I think that'd be really cute. I was considering it when I first started working on her. I would definitely love to make a Kurama doll one day, but we'll see. I don't think I could make Hiei. I think his hair would just look terrible no matter how good I could, yeah. But anyway, here's Yukina. I hope you guys like her, and thanks for watching, guys. I promise I won't take months and months to post the next one.